Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is a very special day considering I'm in Legendary Arena. I'm going to show you some replays of me getting up here, and it was used by one deck specifically. It's a really interesting deck in my opinion. It's a Royal Giant deck, and I've been using it for a while now. This is the deck, and closer and closer to being able to upgrade that. I used to run this deck, and that got me pretty far. It's my cycle deck that I normally use, and then I had what was a Giant Sparky deck until I found the Mortar deck. I don't know why I'm using the Mortar deck. So, anyways, I'm in Legendary now, and I'm happy about that. So we're gonna go through all my replays here. I think what would be a good idea that aren't friendly battles are 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So I want to 7 because I want to show some defeats. But this is going to be my first one. I can't remember exactly what happens because these are decent time ago or whatever. I don't know. Probably later today if I'm correct. Maybe, depending on what's going on. I didn't check the time. Good luck thumbs up for everybody that I go against normally. Unless I'm mad. But the likelihood that I'm mad is very little to none. Usually, because I quit whenever I get mad, because I know I'm going to lose, so I'm mad. I'm going to immediately, this was earlier now that I think of it, Furnace Royal Giant, which is not bad, applies pressure. You can do a lot with it. And especially when they have counters that are, you know, great with Fire Spirit Splash. So, let's talk about the deck in general before everything is played out. Before we go into this, a lot of people can play this deck fairly safe. However, this might be a deck that you're going to be running in Royal. There's 2 different cards that can easily change the effect of the gameplay. In order to use this deck, you must be in Royal, because there's 2 cards that are in Royal that are specifically need be. But let's talk about those 2. Let's talk about the first one that's actually in Frozen Peak, which is the Ice Spirit. The Ice Spirit is unique. I added it in as not only a cycle card, but that second, you know, minion horde defense, you know, or something that could freeze and take care of it, like Zap for an Inferno Tower or something like that. It's cheap, and that's what it's supposed to be there for. So, the obvious replacement is, well, skeletons, because skeletons are cheap, they help cycle, and that's kind of so unique about them. Second of all, you see me using the Furnace a lot from this first replay. It's actually a pretty bad card for what it is now. I can't trickle people out when they're the same level or one level higher than my Fire Spirits, and that's the problem with them. With my Furnace, is that it's level 7 and not 8, which 8 I can't really get to at the moment. But that's the thing that's so important about playing this, is that Furnace against any... That was 12 hours ago. I did this all in the morning. Great. There is the 3 musket deck that I might show later. But, the Furnace is... If this is a level 8, or level 9, I mean, it's level 10. But I keep the Furnace in here for one reason, is whenever I'm facing level 9s or something like that I come across, I can trickle them out with the Furnace, because they're the same level, and at least one Furnace hits the tower all the time, and if you pay attention sometimes, the Furnace will do more damage than my actual pushes, because they're not paying attention to the Furnace, which makes that just one more great thing about the Furnace. However, that's the problem. When you're playing in Royal or Frozen Peak at that fact, and you have a level 6 Furnace, or, you know, that level 9s can be a problem. So you don't want to replace that with something that you could triple them with, say Spirit God Hut, or defense card. Against level 10s, I have the Furnace as a defense card. But just saying, if your Furnace is level 6 and you're facing level 9, you might have a bad time, because they've got just enough health to sustain themselves on their towers. Some of the decks that I faced against level 9s, they don't seem to be really effective. The Furnace doesn't seem really effective at that fact, because they're not wearing Minion Horde or something like that. And my Furnace is just mainly there as a defense card, which then can probably be a problem. So, those are 2 cards to note about this deck that can be pretty change-worthy here, that you can change between that might be better. I just prefer the Furnace and the Ice Spirit because I've been playing with them for a while. I wanted to get those 2 out of the way so I can talk about what else. Why did I make the change from my Cycle to Royal Giant deck? Well, I saw this channel on, or I saw this deck on a YouTube channel, and, well, I kind of wanted to replicate it, and, well, it was kind of an early video that came out. I decided, well, why not copy it and see how well I can do with it, and it's actually kind of different from the one that was I didn't share the copy it, I just made it on my own, and it uses the Royal Giant Lightning, and the first time I used it, I wouldn't say I did bad, I wouldn't say I did good either. The thing is that with this deck, I'm able to play a lot more aggressively as I am with my Cycle deck. How the Cycle deck gives you more elixir what's the word? More bargain for your buck or whatever, something like that. And that's what's so great about this, is that that's kind of like the thing that you need, is that you're doing more damage than just chipping someone out with my Cycle deck, which I haven't shown, and I have to gain some replays from that because I can't do it on the computer. So, yeah. This guy gets lucky, the last second his Magic takes out my tower, and he's gonna win with a 3 crown, but it was a decently close match in my opinion. What are you gonna do with that? I thought my Zep could take care of it, but it didn't. Alright, so, next replay. Not bad. Next one. This was one of the ones that I've seen before. Looks like one of them ones that copied them. Alright. So now I got to the point where I can switch, and I really like this deck. I mean, I do switch from I have switched from my Cycle deck before, and in certain scenarios where everything starts to go wrong, and well, Cycle deck seems to be the kind of king there thing, but they weren't at this time. And you know, it's nice to look at these battles and like, you know what, this is not a bad deck, and I really like this deck. So here's level 9, and he's actually got a nice thing. So what's unique about this? What's so unique about this is that, yes, it can be defense, right? The Furnace can be a defense card, and that's what it can be mainly. That's why you mainly use it against hogs for. However, it's still a trickle device that can work, and that's the thing. This guy was lucky enough to kind of get me to step back a bit here and rethink my strategy, because I knew as soon as he got that Ice Golem hog down, it was gonna be GG. So I immediately tried to place the Furnace down in time. It didn't work, so I just bait everything else out of what I was going with here. So I ended up going with something different here. So I do end up trying to use the Furnace's trickle device, but that doesn't work out most of the time. So yeah, the temptation to zap that was nice, but wasn't there because I knew my tower could take care of it. And I was gonna zap it just in case if he had anything. So I decide to put Mega Bean back and start a push, and obviously he's gonna start up a push by himself. I'm gonna put the Royal Giant up front because for some reason, I don't know why, but I thought the Ice Golem would target it, but it didn't. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But just for those little extra things, or support that can try to get through on the Bayflance. That's the second thing that was so good about this deck, is that you can trust the Royal Giant to get that little trickle damage and stop his supporting units of a push. Which is great, by the way. There are a lot of cool strategies that you can go along with this. Like, for me, I try to use this as the way, like, the trickle strategy, where you trickle a guy out and then go after his little tower. And it makes the deck pretty unpredictable for what could happen, you know? Like, this moment, I think he takes my tower, but then I go back at him with another one, back over to his little tower, because I've got it so down to the point where I can probably just take it out. Normal. This guy isn't prepared for the fact that he may go after my other tower, but it's not as down as far as his is. I'm already starting up a push again. And this is kind of the insane part, and I love this part. Or I love the way that how this deck plays out, because you can play this so differently from the way that you play, but it seems so much similar to the way that you play in the same sense. It's completely different play style, but you know, picking up that win with the lightning, always great to know. That's what I love about this deck so much. It makes you unpredictable, so you never know what's coming out after you, no matter what it is. It's gonna take you down. So, yeah. What's the main playstyle here? If your furnace is a high enough level, or you have a different trickle device than what I have, it would be best to trickle the person out with a device with the building or whatever. This guy's also lucky again because he is a building that distracts my fighting spirits. Kind of gets me frustrated. So I think, you know what? I'm gonna go with Royal Giant because I can. He's got a miner. I don't care about that. So it's going down. Ice Spirit. Spirit God was thinking that Mega Minion. He got greedy and tried to hit my what is it? Royal Giant and my Spirit God, so that didn't work out. He missed. That trickle damage right there, it may not seem like much, even though it is kind of 1,000 damage. It's still worth taking with this deck. Because here we go again trying to do it, but he's got a tombstone ready. But it's your playstyle. Your playstyle can change a bit from what you normally play, but it doesn't change that much. I like pure cycle, or just regular cycle by itself. But knowing that I can switch my playstyle with this and change it a slight bit, just makes it so much more funner for me, considering I could just switch back and forth with the decks and not really have to worry about switching strategies in between. Say my giant Sparky, that has a different strategy that goes with it compared to what I use with these two, because these are kind of king cycle decks in a sense. They're going back and forth using defense, furnace defense, trickle device, trickle deck is what you call it probably, which makes sense because you trickle your opponent out mainly, or you one push him with the Royal Giant Mega Minion. Yeah, that's always an option. It always is. But that's what's so cool about it. That's what I like about this deck so much. So the main playstyle is normally trickle damage, but if your playstyle is so keen on building pushes, it would be more likely probably the best decision in my opinion. I wouldn't recommend this, but probably put your Royal Giant in the back. I wouldn't suggest this though, as you're blatantly saying I'm starting to push with the Royal Giant. It's gonna be huge, and you gotta want to be careful of it. That's why I put it up front most of the time instead of in the back. But you will see, I don't think I do it in this set of replays, but I do tendency to do that just because I need to start doing something then and there, so I don't screw up anything. I need to accumulate elixir at the same time, so that's what I end up normally doing. That's what I'm just saying I end up doing. So this guy's gonna get lucky enough to take out my tower, I think, or just barely take it out. He barely takes it out, or it doesn't even. He barely gets it. But that's the thing with this deck. Is that anyone can play it. There's no legendaries in it, making it much easier to get, more or less. And you know, that's mainly it. Here comes the wins here. Mainly everything comes in a win. That's a friendly battle. I should remember that. Just remember that. And second of all, it's great against defending any other real legendaries that you come across. Say Mega Minion against Lava Hound, that's a great counter. Ice Spirit or Zap can take out Inferno Dragon. Furnace really just takes out much of everything else. And Lightning just kind of seals the deal there. I'll use lightning just to try and get my Royal Giant another shot in, and trickle the tower down, which works, you know? I like that. I like the fact that you can change your playstyle a little bit. But yeah, I think I went back. Alright. I think I got distracted by something. The playstyle for anyone who likes to build the pushes is probably to put the Royal Giant in the back, and then or put the Mega Minion in the back is probably a better idea, as I normally do, just to try and accumulate a tiny bit more elixir than what I normally have, and cycle to Ice Spirit Royal Giants in case he has anything extra that I might need to worry about. He takes up my Ice Spirit, however, which is the problem. I don't do anything about that. I'm too worried about the Lava Hound on the other side, because I know he's going to bring in support or try and take out my tower or anything else, which could easily become a problem, mind you. However, I zap right at the right time, and so my Fire Spirits come in handy. I zap right at the right time, and they don't do as much damage as I did to his side. This is so great. The game can easily come around for you with this deck, you know. It's not bad. So when you're starting up a push, keep in mind that, you know, if you were to put the Royal Giant in the back, it's much slower than the Mega Minion. However, you're blatantly saying, hi, I'm going to be a dangerous threat to your push, or your towers, depending on which you mind. So, address the Royal Giant quickly, or you will die. That's the thing, is that it's not as threatening, it's more threatening than a Giant, in my opinion, because there's my lightning. Something special with the Royal Giant is that can actually shoot across the bridge, so anytime that he has a building, or, like, here's another reason why you want to put it on the bridge. Because when you're putting it in the back, you're telling them to put the building down earlier than what they would normally do. And when you're putting it at the bridge, the Royal Giant can target the building compared to what it would be when you put it down earlier, just to distract, your Royal Giant. But the thing is that as soon as they can touch the tower, they'll put down the, give me a sec. I don't really think what I was trying to say. But, like, you know, it can set them up for something bigger than what you would expect them to be if you would put the Royal Giant in the back. That's all I'm trying to say. Here we go again, my Royal Giant lightning just barely taking the tower. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's just alerting them that you have a Royal Giant. You could be starting with a Giant push that he can't stop, because the Royal Giant is strong. The second main reason why, I'm just going back and forth, whatever I'm talking about. But, the second main reason why I made this deck was because my Royal Giant is now level 10, and my Furnace is level 7, which is the highest stuff that I have for each set of cards. So, my Zap is going to go up to level 10 here soon. Probably. Here we are facing a guy with a graveyard, whatever that was. Graveyard skeleton deck of sorts with, I think it was a P.E.K.K.A, if I remember. But yeah, I think I'm about done with I'm talking about what I was trying to talk about. But yeah, let's talk about how unique these cards can be. As I said, the Royal Giant can be a huge threat when unknown. As you see here, he places a building on the other side. Sadly, my Royal Giant targets the other area, but my Fire Spirits come in and take care of it, which is great to know. As you see there, I zapped it as soon as the skeleton's pumped up on my Royal Giant. That's probably the best way of taking out a skeleton army, so you don't have to worry about it. So, just let you know. That's the uniqueness of the RG. It's always different. But, yeah, Royal Giant has a huge range. So we've talked about the Furnace, we've talked about the Ice Spirit, we've talked about the RG. I think we've almost covered the Mega Minion. So as you can see here, I try to take advantage of the chance that I have with the Mega Minion Ice Spirit combo, which doesn't really work out that well. But when not, like, cared about, in a sense, you can probably, like, get a whole crowd ton of, like, damage done to the tower if they're not careful with it. That's how good the Mega Minion can be. And then the Mega Minion is great on defense, as normal, as I've said, and it's great on offense, you know? So, I've slightly covered it. The Fire Spirits I've talked about because of the Furnace, and I think the only thing I have left is the lightning and the zap. The lightning is for those like clutch moments where you hit the tower and you win, or those moments where you can trickle the tower, hit 2 high health not enemies, troops that can be significantly damaged by the spell, and I think I do that later on, where I hit the baby dragon, Mega Minion, and the tower, which is great. This guy goes nuts on the other side with the, with the graveyard and the skeleton army, which is insane. I don't know why you would do that. I kind of try to drag that mini peck on the other side, which doesn't work, so I end up trying to use the Ice Spirit, which doesn't work. So, lightning's mainly there as a main damage dealer to take out enemies and the tower mainly. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about the Spear Gobs. So I got 2 more to go. The Zap and the Spear Gobs. The Zap is unique because I can play a lot more defense than what I would probably normally play, or offense. Because most of the time when I'm using that Zap, it's sometimes to stun the enemy. Just one. It's just to stun the tower, whatever enemies are around it, and I don't really realize because I'm just trying to zap everything. Anything that's, you know, a problem. Because sometimes the guy will put down a minion horde and his tower will be right by and I zap it, and for some reason my tower seems to knock it out. My tower seems to, oh, this is the last replay. My tower seems to, or not my tower, his tower seems to go down because my Royal Giant gets 1 last shot in before dying. So yeah. So let's talk about the Spear Gobs for a second before we end this. Spear Gobs are weaker than archers, do less damage than archers. So why don't I have archers? Well, I want to keep it cheap, and by keeping it cheap, I'm able to cycle like that and not only get some trickle damage because I know he doesn't really have anything that important. He not only just wasted arrows as well. But that's the thing, it's another trickle thing, you know? Or, you know, that one error thing that's really cheap and can actually do something. That's nice to know. So this is the guy that I end up facing in Legendary. And I win. So do that all the time. So yeah, that's basically in a sense it. That's really what it is, and you'll get a grasp of what I'm trying to do with these replays here. And I think I might have enough time to show you guys the 3 Musket game, or the pick 3 Musket deck that I faced that was really close. I might, but yeah, this is the guy that I ended up facing. I don't know why I was the one who faced this guy, but I did, and I won. So that's all I care about, and now I'm in Legendary Arena for it, which I'm happy about, and that's great. So level 9, meaning not only is my furnace valuable, which can be easily explained right there, 1,245 damage, because I'm not even paying attention to it. He's not paying attention to it, so that's a lot of damage that it's getting down. Or at least it was until the lava hound was put down. But here he goes with the minion horde. But I've got furnace already set up. I've got more fire spirits just in case. I put the Royal Giant back in the corner where I normally put it just to try and get out of the way of the King Tower so the King Tower doesn't shoot it. He throws arrows and nothing really makes a shot at it. So I've got more fire spirits to take care of that, and then more fire spirits will come out just to take care of that. I realized my mistake, I completely missed the Mega Minion, so I put down another furnace just to try and see where I can go along with it. He actually screws up everything for me. And his Mega Minion actually turns to try and go after my Royal Giant here. This is probably what made the game here. That, in general, right there, could have just made the game. Because now, his Mega Minion is nowhere near to do damage to my tower, so he can't even catch up with me at this point in tower damage, because his are both down. I go straight back to the Royal Giant, and he now has to address that, which just makes everything much more stressful on his side. I've got all the elixir that I need to start up another push. That's what I love with this deck. Yeah. So I'm done describing it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the gameplay, and let's see if we have enough time for 24 minutes. We have enough time. go back into this. Let's go right to the gameplay, where everything was extraordinarily close. I'll just explain that one to you. It was a P.E.K.K.A. 3 musket deck, and it was interesting nevertheless. I didn't think I was going to win, but I did. And here it is. So, I don't realize that he has P.E.K.K.A. 3 muskets at the beginning of this. So, I just start off with the nice furnace. Royal Giant, whenever I get enough elixir. I'm waiting on the furnace to accumulate again because I can, but he has a princess. It's gonna be a problem, so I decide Mega Man is gonna take out that princess before she trickles out my furnace. Which is not really a good thing because I want to trickle him out. He's got all his 3 cards that he needs to play, and I don't know he has his cards. So I go straight Royal Giant Spear Gobs, and he misses 2 Spear Gobs, which kind of increased the trickle there. I missed the lightning and hit the Ice Blizzard and the 2 archers, which is bad. So I decide Fire Spirit to take out the princess because I don't want any trickle damage. No, thank you. I'll trickle him out though. That's the thing. So now he's stuck with 3 muskets, log, tombstone, graveyard, and P.E.K.K.A. He starts with P.E.K.K.A. I don't think it's gonna be much, in my opinion. I think he's just gonna put some support behind it that I can take care of easily. So I started Mega Man it back. You know, I'm confident that I can do this. I got my furnace up and running. That can mainly defend against the P.E.K.K.A., right? Then he puts that down. So I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I'm kind of stuck in the middle ground here. So I take his tower, not having enough elixir for anything else. I kind of move my lightning up a bit, hit those 3 muskets, and now I'm stuck with barely enough elixir to start off with. He puts down archers, and I wait for them to walk on my king tower. He's got goblins. I zap them, and there goes his princess. Now my king tower's at 1,809. His is higher than mine. What am I going to do? Furnace to try and trickle him up. It's not going to work because he's already starting up the push with 1 muskets to my king tower. What do? I panic and try to put down everything possible, and that doesn't work. So I end up lightning it because I don't want any damage because I know he's going to kill me. He goes graveyard. I panic. I go with Spear Gobs there, and then I go with a furnace, which could have just easily lost because if you pay attention, the skeletons could have taken out my tower. I got a Royal Giant on his tower, and that's going to be a J. Because I have a lightning that will take him out. That was a good game. No joke, that was extraordinarily close, and I could have lost that. I could have seriously lost that if he had any other thing other than Tombstone to take me out with. He probably could have logged me in general, and sadly that was not PB Royale. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Clash Royale. I'm now in Legendary Arena. Now I'm happy. He's probably got a donation that he needs. I can donate 8. Thank you guys very much for watching this episode of Clash Royale. If you guys go ahead, if you like the content, go ahead, leave a like down below, comment anything that you like down below, and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next episode, whatever I make. Bye! I gotta cut the right button. You know, just wait for 1 second after the intro. I have to say this. I know the intros are bad. I checked the last video. The annotations don't work for the video. They don't automatically go on. I don't know why I thought that. But they don't. And they're not going to be. At least for now until I get a stable outro that I can make. And I know that will be one that actually is pretty successful compared to the other ones that I've shown. This is the second one that I've shown. This is specifically for Clash Royale. However, whenever I get the chance to, I will, however, make one intro for everything. I'm hoping it'll be pretty good, pretty nice looking, but this is what I'm gonna have to deal with for now. There's gonna be no annotations. However, it's just gonna be a cool outro. It's gonna be like an end card or something like that. Something that can be enjoyed. Whatever music is on there and whatever, you know, clip that's on there that I put on there. But yeah, I know how bad it is.